All right, it's 4:45. I just got home, had to do some logistics, had to go get doorknobs for our doors, go get shims for our doors. The cages for the lights have arrived in the mail as well. Day ahead of schedule, so I'm not mad about that. But today we're gonna do some surgery because I have to gently remove somehow my header and my cripples here to redo the height because, as I mentioned before, I'm an idiot. I ordered 80-inch doors, I got 80-inch doors, but I order frames, those aren't 80 inches. So I have to move my header up to get the door in place for both the outside door and the inside door. Today's agenda is just to do the outside door because I think that's going to be the most time consuming because I'm going to have to surgically remove things so I don't screw anything up. But I have a plan, I have an idea. Whether it works or not, don't know. We'll find out together. But today's agenda, that's it. Get that situated for the door to be installed. So, pitter patter, get at her. Let's go. 6 o'clock Monday night. I'm done. As you saw in the GoPro footage, the door fits, but I've never installed a door, so I'm gonna recruit some help to make sure I get it square plumb and in the right position and everything for this door, and then hopefully I can do this one by myself after I learn some tricks of the trade. So I'm gonna stop here tonight because my hands are shaking. I need to eat. Yeah, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Just pretty cut and dry, so this one should be a snatch. Easy, quick, done, easy deal. So I'm gonna put all my toys away, get all my batteries on charge for tomorrow so I can do the same thing, cut, zip, raise, go, knock it out and call it good. Yeah, pretty easy night tonight. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll do that door. After we get this one situated, hopefully installed, done, and working, we'll get this one raised, and I'll do the same thing, and we'll have the inside or the man doors all done. The garage doors have yet to ship. The light fixture frames, they have arrived, so what I might do is, because these have not shipped yet, I might do the drywall on the ceiling, because that needs to be done first anyway, so I can put my lights up, get them in, and installed, and go from there. So then I got to make an access for the crawl space somewhere. I'm thinking right here in front of the door, so it's a straight shot into the big open area that's up there. So, alrighty, on to the next one. Good evening. It is Tuesday, 4/18. Neighbor should be here at 4:30-ish. Help me make sure I'm putting this door in correctly. So I'm gonna get all my stuff together and get ready for that. That's gonna be today's goal, is to get this door in there, mounted, done, so I know how to do it for this door. And if I have time, raise the header on this one and get that one situated like I did for this door yesterday. Main goal is just learning this process here today. So GoPro is going to be running in the background for time lapse as I'm learning, as I'm doing, as I'm executing. So yeah, we got thunderheads rolling over, but that's all right. We're indoors, so it can go overhead and rain all at once. I think we're good. So let's do it. Well, would you look at that? I got a door. Huge shout out to my neighbor Rick for coming over and showing his expertise in doing this. This is the first time I've ever done a door that's pre-hung like this. And I'd say it turned out pretty damn good. It doesn't want to swing either way on its own, so that tells me it's level. And it closes just fine. The seals are new, of course, so you got to push it all the way closed. But after I put the trim pieces on, fill this guy here full of the special sealing foam that I have, that door is going to be solid. And it's got a lock. I got keys. So if I really want to get after it and lock this stuff up, I sure can. So I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to clean up some stuff, put some stuff on the charger, but got a door. Got one more door to do and then two big doors to do because I still, of course, have the garage doors to install. Those will be a little bit easier, I think, but I can't do those until the drywall's up because they fasten on the inside of the wall and then you butt your trim up to that to seal it up. So even if they show up now, I can't do anything with them. So that's why I'm not upset about the garage doors not being here until the end of August, early September. It gives me time to deal with all the drywall, the insulation and stuff. So there it is. Door number one's in, and it's starting to look like something. Well, it already does look like something, but now it's got a door. Feels a little bit more complete with the door, even though it's just one. And I still got two big openings in the building, but that just adds to the ambiance of completeness. So there you go. Door's done. Tuesday's done. Sorry, Tuesday's done. This is the kind of day I've been having. It's Monday 2.0 for me. But anyway, hope you have a great night. We'll see you next time. Well, happy hump day. It is 4:15-ish. I just got home, getting everything set up here because we are going to do the raising of this header and fix the cripples and try getting this door in by ourselves and see how bad we can screw that up before I got to call in reinforcements to unscrew my screw up. Maybe I'll get lucky. We'll see. But that's today's agenda is at least get the framing fixed, ready to go for the door. And I was told that because I don't have to worry about the lower sill, I can actually take the door out of the frame and do everything without the door, and the frames will be lighter and easier to move. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So let's see how much damage we can cause and see how much progress we can make. Let's go.
Discover those wonderful arcades and have a good time. A gorilla throwing barrels, a plane destroying enemies, a knight losing his armor, swords and magic. It's fun. I look behind the glass. They seem to be having a good time. Sparkles and colors, CRTs come off. Full of color life, it might get fun. Without a doubt, I have found my place. Full of color and life, it might get fun. Without a doubt, I have found my place. I'll be fine here. This is my sight. Between screen flashes and a rhythmic sound.
Well, either I got a good teacher or the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then, because this door went in without a hitch. And it's just as smooth as the front door. It doesn't want to swing open on its own. It doesn't want to swing closed. It does what a door should do, and it stays still when you put it in a position and moves with relative ease. So that's door number 2 done. I have ordered the drywall and the insulation for the ceiling area. So whenever that gets here is when we'll start doing that up there. In the meantime, I think tomorrow what I'm going to do, because I have some old baseboard left over from when we did the floors in the house, I'm going to use that as trim around this main door, because why not? I have it, let's use it. And then if that insulation and stuff's not here, I'm going to go around the upper portion of the walls and seal it with that orange foam, like I did on the bottoms here. You can kind of see this orange foam here. This sealed that gap up for insulating it and keeping moisture out and all that jazz. But I'm going to go through and do all the big bays with the same stuff, because I've got 6 cans of it. And I did all of the bottom bays and all the outlets. I did the electrical panel, sealed it all up, and I still have some left in the first can. So that stuff goes a long way. If anybody's ever on the fence of buying one of them professional foam guns, super easy to clean. All you gotta do is get the cleaner, pop the can on there, give it a squirt till it cleans itself out. And those cans last forever, it seems. So if you're on the fence, spending the $50 to get the fancy gun, I would say get the fancy gun, because now I can reuse it and whatever I want. So, yeah, I'm surprised I got the door in. I was expecting just to do the header and fight that this afternoon. So, bonus. So that's 2 doors in, fully mounted. This, of course, doesn't lock. It doesn't need to. It's an internal door. So, yeah, super pumped. That's 2 out of 4 doors done. And we're gonna move on to the ceiling so I can get the lights in and get that going. So, all right, on to the next. All right, it's 4:20-ish, Thursday afternoon, evening, and it's been raining on and off, and we got thunder boomers overhead, so it's gonna be a real simple day today. I gotta get up before in the morning tomorrow to go to work. So I'm going to grab Mr. Foam Gun, and I'm going to go through all of my big bay openings here on the walls only and see how far I can get sealing up the rest of the building, because tomorrow just the drywall for the ceiling is going to be delivered. So I'm going to have to do the ceiling, start working on the crawl space, all that stuff in the overhead, and then Wednesday the insulation should be here. So if I've got all this ready to go for insulation, we can go ahead and insulate the attic crawl space area. I also have vents to put in the gable end, so there's airflow through the crawl space. But yeah, just a lot of tedium. So we're gonna go ahead and just take it easy today and do said tedium while it rains. I don't know if you can hear the pitter patter or the fat drops. It's kind of sprinkling right now. So yeah, let's do it. All right, it's 5:45. I'm done for the day. And as you saw in the time lapse, I went through the entire building. All the walls, to include the doors, are now sealed with foam. And I still think I got about a half a can left in that one can, that last can I used. So that was a can and a half basically to do the whole building. So if anybody is on the fence of buying one of them, their fancy guns, a little bit goes a long way with them cans. So maybe that'll help you change your mind, make your decision. I did get vents for the attic crawl space area. I just gotta, cut a rectangle out, plaster these on the outside, call it good. The drywall for the attic will be here tomorrow, or the crawl space will be here tomorrow. I have determined that this will be the entry point. So I got to put a piece of 2x4 there and there so that I have access with a ladder into said crawl space. A lot of little things still got to get done before I start doing drywall, hanging drywall. I need to put the plywood, there you go, down so you have something to walk across in the crawl space there. You got to put those vents in, and then the insulation for the crawl space will be here on Wednesday. So I have until Wednesday to get as much done as possible before it's like, okay, got to move on to the next step. So, but a lot of the minutia was done. So the air gaps are all filled. Complete overkill. I'm sure of it. One of the Bob the Builders is probably going to look at this and go, why? Because I can. That's why. But yeah, that's Thursday's work. Got to get up at 4 in the morning tomorrow, go to work. So I don't know how much I'm going to actually get done tomorrow night, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Yeah, I'm tired now just because I'm thinking about it. All right, until next time. All right, it is 4 o'clock on Friday. I just got home. You see behind me, I got a couple of sheets of drywall here. There's 20 there in total. But before I do anything with drywall, I've got to get the vents in on the gable ends. I got a box of seals, weather stripping for the garage doors that I don't have. So I've got everything but the doors now to install them. But drywall is here for the crawl space. I still got to get this section here basically sectioned off so it'll be an opening, and then I can get into said crawl space. And then I need to put something across the crawl space, so I'm not trying to put things on top of the drywall. Instead, there'll be plywood there, so it's easier to get stuff in there, maneuver around, and actually use the crawl space. So there's a lot of little stuff I got to do before I even put one sheet of drywall up. So yeah, we're just gonna piddle around. It is really bad weather right now. We've got thunder boomers overhead again. I had to bring in some lights. I don't know if you can see because of the shadow. Those are actual, like a standing light, because I can't put my lights up until I get the drywall up. And now I need to make sure that they are not going to be in the way of the garage door rails, because I didn't think about that until basically today, that these lights will be in the way of the garage door. So now I've got to figure out how far those rails go, how far back they go, and whether or not they're going to be in the way, or those lights will be in the way, which I think they will be, because it's a 7-foot door. So that means those rails at a minimum are going to come 7 feet back from the opening, which is right here, right underneath that cup. So that means that those hangers that hold the rails are going to be right in this area. Perfect. See? Building is awesome. So both of these light cups here, or these lights period, are going to be probably in the way. Cool. I might just leave them and deal with it when the doors get here. See if there's another way to finagle it and just put the lights going this way, away from the door. I don't know, because now I kind of just shot myself in the foot. I may have to relocate these lights and put them like in the center here. So the garage door, I think that's what I'm gonna do actually. Is I need to fix those because they need to be, I'll put them in the middle and they'll just shine down and that'll be it. Maybe, I don't know. Crappy Dukes, see? It's all right, it's Friday. We're gonna piddle poink and do things and just see what we do. Okay, let's get after it. All right, it's 5 o'clock. I've only been out here for about an hour and some change, but I'm gonna call it because you ever want to have one of those days where you're kicking your own ass? Well, that's what I'm doing right now out here, just beating myself up because I didn't think ahead. I did move the lights, so they're now down the center line because of the rails for the garage door that's going basically where you're sitting right there. So I didn't think about that. So now I've thought about that. I was going to do the cutouts for the gable end vents, but I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that for tomorrow so I don't fall off the ladder doing something dumb because I'm tired and I'm gonna make a dumb mistake. So yeah, we're just gonna call it good with that. And then tomorrow we'll do some stuff. I don't know what, but we'll get there. Anyway, hope everybody has a great Friday night. On to the next. All right, it's 8:45, Saturday morning. And we're gonna get these gable end vents in, and we're gonna do the center crawl space area with the 1/2-inch plywood up there so we can actually use it for storage. And then if I have time, we're gonna block off the area for the crawl space entrance and maybe put some drywall up. I'm not holding my breath on the drywall thing. That's a lot to do before we get to that point. So. But that's going to be today's agenda, is get these vents done, get at least the crawl space up there ready to rock and roll for storage. That way Monday rolls around, I can start going sheet by sheet on the crawl space area one step at a time. So without further ado, let's get after it.
When I was a kid, every summer I used to spend my vacations in Rimini. And I remember that at night there was no way to get some sleep because of the noise coming from a nearby dance hall. Especially I recall this song. I think it was the summer of 1982.
It's 4:30. I'm done. My right shoulder can't take any more. I am pretty pasty, but there's a crap ton of progress inside, but we're gonna look at outside first. I got the crawl space vents done on both ends, as you saw in the time lapse. And bear with me here. We have a completed drywalled ceiling. It's not perfect, it's not pretty, but it's done, and it's another thing off the checklist. So now that this ceiling's done, we're gonna move into the gym side and start doing that ceiling, but that's not gonna happen until Monday. This took a lot longer than I thought, so I have until Wednesday till the installation gets here, which is no problem. I'll probably need every minute of the 2 hours I get to work each night on this. But now that I know what to expect, maybe it'll go a little bit faster. I don't know. All I know is the tradespeople that do this for a living, my hat's off to all of you. And I know now why you charge as much as you do. And this isn't even a professional job. This is me just doing it. Man. I got the crawl space, so you can get up in there. It's been tested by myself, by Ange. Let's see if you can see. But that is going to be our overhead storage for all the odds and ends. It actually only took me 2, 4, 6, 8 sheets of drywall, because this last cap here was the cutoffs from the 8 pieces. So I'm not mad about that. I was expecting to use 10 pieces of drywall in here. That means I'm gonna have some left over to do something else. I'll probably put it here on the center wall, because I'm gonna need 1/2 of the wall to put the insulation on anyway. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and download all the footage to the cards, get everything cut, pasted together, montaged, and uploaded to YouTube for Sunday. Another week down, another week of progress. A lot of little tedium was done this week, but a lot of little stuff that needed to be done. So yeah, on to the next. Thanks for joining me. If you've stuck with it this long, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. If you know anybody that's affiliated with any type of gym equipment or anything like that, send them my way. Because I'm going to need some help restocking the gym, because the entire building rebuild is eating up my entire budget due to the cost of materials nowadays. So we're going to have to get creative on the gym side of things. Okay, let's put all our toys away, and we'll see you next time.